I don't know if we're on the same stream right now because what? Let's see. Are we live? It looks like we're live, but I don't know if it's a new stream. So hopefully everyone is still there. Um, I'm just gonna end Instagram because somehow it got stopped. All right. Um, let's see. Where were we? What were we talking about? I was talking about, well, what's coming up for me. Oh, yes, they are. What was Wednesday? Joel, Lauren. I think what we're gonna try and do also is maybe bring someone from the community on every week. So maybe if someone's available, like let's say Harrison or let's say Yasik or
Yeah.
Flavio, and one new person every week. But we got Brannon back. Like I said, he's been having some coconut wireless issues going on. Ike Hobbs says, Ike, who was at the event, who kind of had to twist his arm for a while, but he said, I appreciate the talk, Brandon. It was nice to see some real numbers and strategy instead of vague stuff. Even though I'm not in your market, have me some benchmarks to work with.
Yeah, I do think we're going. What even Michael mentioned is having some more presentations, talking about some strategy. I think that'll be good for next year. I think people will get excited about that.
Yeah, definitely. I liked a lot of the things he mentioned that hopefully he's gonna change or work on, or he's always trying to improve it.
Yes.
I definitely like the idea of Monday being a little bit short. I mean, not Monday, but Saturday being shorter.
Yes.
It is a long day. I definitely felt that the VIP event is lacking. This past year was kind of wasn't the same as previous years. What they were getting out of it. So I think he definitely noticed that. So it looks like he's going to address that and trying to give a better experience to the VIPs. Um,
The good thing is
so
he's not complacent. He's trying to improve it every year, and he's thinking and having some good evaluation. So he's not complacent. That's good.
I'm really interested to see how the event being in January. I think there's going to be a lot of people that maybe haven't come yet because it's in February for whatever reasons, and so there might be a lot of new faces. I think in January.
I think so too, because my wife had given me little hints that that was going to be on that date was going to be the last one for a while because that is also our wedding anniversary. And we have over the years had just a few times where I haven't had something going on. And so when your wife gives you a subtle hint, you better listen. So
You also put together a Friday coffee meetup before the event. Well, because Dion has his Wednesday and Thursday midnight at Denny's, and you said that is too late for you, and you also put together a meetup on Friday. And I think people just like having those options of different meets.
yeah,
So how do you think that worked out?
I thought it was good. There was, what would you say, 30 to 35? I mean, there was quite a few people there. And the reason I did it was to create a time that I was thinking about me and saying there's got to be some others similar to me that don't like to be out that late. Why not have the same group, say another group that wanted to meet in the morning when they've went to bed at normal time, and are more morning people than late night people. So that was the purpose. And yes, I did not pay for everybody's
Well,
meal,
I
but
thought I thought that's why a lot of people showed up because they thought you were going to pay.
but I'm also still old school. You were the one that took up the slack because I don't have Venmo and all those different things. I still pay with checks sometimes on bills. Guess that. Guess what? I'm still pretty old school, and I'm comfortable being that way. I'm comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, just to clarify, I did not pay for I did not cover the bill. I paid for the
You
bill.
organize the bill.
Yeah, and
You
people just
organize the
reimburse
bill.
me. It's much easier than everyone trying to pay separate bills. So, let's see. I see Gus tuning in. Gus, unfortunately, Vegas was kind of a last minute thing for him, so he wasn't able to pull it off. But I think definitely he'll be there at next year's event. Uh, Yasik is saying, yeah, some of us should just stay there from the midnight meetup. Sorry. Did you go to any of the Denny's ones before, previously, in the previous
No,
years?
that was the first time I'd ever been around a something like that because I knew I couldn't do them back then. I wasn't a late night person.
If anyone is in the chat that went to the Denny's meetups, give me your thoughts on the location. I kind of I actually kind of preferred the other Denny's, the original one, even though it was kind of a little further out, and
Did
it's
did y'all meet at a different Denny's than the one we met at?
not for this year. This year they were all at that same Denny's on the
Oh,
strip.
okay.
But last year, it was kind of outside of Vegas in a sense. So it was
That's what I
outside.
heard. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was not right in that area. That it was a little further out.
Hey, Joel is here, lending for entrepreneurs, who is now a converted ORaaT groupie. Took him years to get to the event. I kind of, everyone says I bullied him, but he loves it now. Yeah, even Lynn says she prefers the other Denny's. So,
Let me
uh,
share. I'd love to share a cup, just two, because I talked to my daughter. She's a lot like my wife. She really is sharp, but getting in front of an audience, she doesn't have those experiences. And so she gets real nervous. I've been talking to her about would she be willing to do a video with me. Right now, I think I have her agreeing, and we're going to be filming. We talked about Saturday there, where sometimes I do some of my videos out by the pool, having a video with her. So I'm saying yes now. She's saying yes now, but she shared some things that were just amazing just to hear it pure because I didn't want to give her any coaching. I wanted to hear it pure. And she said, I'm just going to give you two. Direct investing is better than investing in others' projects.
I like
That's
that.
one thing she wrote down. And I'm just giving you two because I want her to really talk about these. I think this video is going to be pretty good that everybody will be interested in. Don't constantly change your strategies because you could end up going backwards.
Oh,
Is
well,
that not something? I sat there, I'm looking at
sheesh.
these.
I think she's
She wrote,
adopted. She
I
must be
know
adopted.
I sent it to Zuber just a few minutes ago. I said, this is stuff we've been teaching for years that we wish adults would learn, and she's hit, I mean, just pure from her what she learns, that's just two of the six that she put down, and we're going to talk about those on Saturday. And I'll get that recording, and I pray that she's willing to do it. And she said, will you help me? So we're going to go over it beforehand to make her, not be so nervous, but I want her to give a little bit more description to it.
Brannon knows I'm joking. Yasik says that was not nice. But before we touch on that a little bit more, I do want to give a shout out to Andy, who was at the event, and he just started his YouTube channel. So I saw his first video the other day. So his Andy's channel is in the chat. So if you can jump over there, subscribe and go like his first video. Yes, so there is a few people mentioning they did prefer the other Denny's, the original one, but they also maybe would like the one by the downtown Grand or near Fremont's because it is closer to the Grand and that's where a lot of people are staying. I know Jim is working on maybe seeing if we can get some kind of group rate at the Grand because there's so much people staying there, and even possibly getting like a conference room where Zuber might have like a pre-event VIP dinner if everything works out.
Oh,
But
that's pretty interesting.
but we'll see. Victor's here. Victor got in a little bit late to the event. I think he believed he didn't get there till Sunday, but he said next year will be at Costco. Lynn is here. She did receive a belt at the event, which is very cool.
Yes,
And
she
you
did.
also got one. How it's a real belt, right? It's heavy, man.
It's heavy. Yes, it's a real belt and it's heavy. And it was interesting to see all the people looking at it when I was walking through different venues, carrying it in and out. It was it was pretty interesting. Everybody was staring at it. It's Zuber did a great job on that.
Jen is here, who did a great job with John Litz and Kenny in checking everyone in. A lot every year it seems to be getting smoother and smoother to check in. Jen does ask though, that's such a mature response. How old is your daughter?
She is 18. but understand, and I know I'm bragging on her, but I'm proud of her. She was voted for her senior class the most likely to succeed and become a millionaire. She was voted by the student body of the high school as homecoming queen. She was voted by the teachers for 2 years, the leader of her class. She's got just some very strong. It's not get in your face type of leader. It's this more quiet, strong, disciplined leader. That's just the character she has in her.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that is one of the great things about the community. Like Yasik says, people can take a joke. So you can see it, I think, from year one to now. It keeps progressing, and people are getting more and more comfortable seeing each other, and even on the Zoom calls, and people are now able to playfully joke and poke around at each other. Uh,
Absolutely.
the Grand, let's see. Hyder says the Grand would be losing a lot of business if they don't open up the conference room. Maybe no refreshments, just access to the room. So that is what Jim Zuber did mention. It would be Friday, if it can be 6 to 9 p.m., 5K all in. That's food, tip, everything, and he'll get it. So Jim is trying to Jim had a call with him yesterday, and he's trying to see like, oh, if there's this many rooms, if we get this many rooms, can we get a discount? Can the conference room be thrown in, type of thing. So he's trying to work on that and see what's an option for us. Yeah, they thought you were a WW. She says, so you know how old Jen is. She says WWF still yet. The old school people still call the wrestling WWF. But definitely, yeah. So Jack mailed his back to Pittsburgh because he was worried about TSA. So he spent $100 to mail his belt to.
Wow. Yeah, they let it go through. There was really very little issue. So yeah.
I had to stuff two because I had mine that Juber wanted us to all bring, and then I had to bring Mikey's one back to Hawaii. But yeah, I had no problem bringing it back. I did break the wheel on my carry-on luggage though, so I have to get a replacement for that. So it sounds like you will be back in January, right? Because of the new date. I think you were saying
I
February.
think
Your
so.
wife.
That works better for me, and then looking forward to teaching that Gen Z group. That's it. Looks like that's what's going to happen, and be a participant in that. And that's really kind of a purpose and a mission for what I do. So I'm looking forward to that.
I know you're in Texas also, and there was someone, I forget where I saw their comment, but they were now on the fence about coming because it's in January, and I guess they're more concerned about pipes freezing in like Texas, I guess, because it's so. Is that a big thing that time of year for you folks? I mean,
Oh, every now and then. I mean, this is life. We will have usually about once a year we'll have a decent little cold snap, but you know, it hasn't. I manage 230 doors, and that didn't in that last cold freeze that we had, where it got down to in our area, it got down to 10 degrees, and our whole 230 doors, we didn't have a single pipe freeze.
Flavio is asking Brannon, what was the book name that you mentioned that is similar to what you were thinking?
That would be, and I'm actually going to be on his podcast the end of March. It's How to Retire in 10 Years or Less.
I
So
think, yeah.
that was the book. It's Ryan Lee. He's been on recently. I don't know if y'all been watching his channel. He's been on with uh, Ken McElroy and Robert Kiyosaki a lot lately.
I think he's in that tree kind of now, right? Seems like
It
it's
seems like it to
it,
me.
yeah. Because I think that is what he's talking about quite a bit would fall under their kind of branch, right? Like,
He mentions Robert Kiyosaki in the book. He takes some of the principles. He also takes some of the principles from the Wealth Code, the Banker's Code, and the Debt Millionaire, which is books that came out started around 2013 or 2014. He was he uses some of that book. So it's a mix actually, and then there's another book he uses. It's kind of a mix of a whole bunch of different books.
Also, another thing, Yasik is saying, I know you talked to Zuber about creating a panel for next event. How about a monthly or every other month call for the younger generation to prime them before the event?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Getting that organized. I think what Zuber was talking about is a group of us meeting monthly that are going to be planning out that that conference for that group. I don't know if he's talking about. I didn't interpret it that way that he's talking about getting the Gen Zs primed, but that could be another thought also.
Well, no, no, yeah, I think you got what Zuber was talking about correct. I think what Yasik might be asking is you or someone in the community setting up kind of a monthly call for not maybe a group of like the teenagers that attended the event or teenagers
Right,
that are in the
right.
people's kids that can kind of get them ready for this event coming up and have them so they kind of go in a little bit with some maybe
No,
information
I
and
mean, that's a
knowledge.
good thought. That's a good thought.
Also, I know Zuber mentioned possibly having like a board game night or event a little bit, like playing the cash flow or Monopoly or something at the event. So that'll be pretty cool too, I think. Let's see. So, yep, I think Zuber's talking about a 4-hour block next year for the teenagers. Something you guys are working on for that. I know I just saw him post in school, kind of suggestions on maybe not necessarily speakers, but maybe some of the accountability groups to
Yeah,
be
I
on
saw that
stage
too.
as a possibility. So, have you had a chance to maybe think about that or what? Accountability groups you would maybe want to see on there the first year, possibly?
I saw that this morning and just had to get to taking care of some things, but I did see it this morning. I'm gonna spend some time. I think it's a good idea, and it's almost like panels. And I really do like a few of the discussions to be these panel discussions because I think that seemed to resonate when he brought the lenders up, and it seemed like one other one. I do think the audience appreciates those panels, and I think those could last 45 minutes to an hour, and they'd have quite a few questions because you're hearing thoughts and experiences from multiple people all at the same time. So I think that, it seemed like that resonated. So the panels with some of the accountability groups could be very good too. Did I lose you, Mark?
Someone was just calling the house phone, so I just picked it up again.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea, some random telemarketer, I believe.
I know here all I get is calls for they want to do a free inspection on my roof, and I have a lot of fun with those conversations.
Yeah, if they call my parents' house phone still yet, it's I know it's some sort of telemarketer basically this early in the morning. So, but let's see. It's a lot for teens to take in for one weekend. So that also is actually, um, I think Saturday after sitting with Cody, a lot of the teenagers maybe just were mind blown, right? So they kind
Yeah.
of it was a little overwhelming for them to some extent. So
And I
Yasik
think
does make
that's
a
where
good point.
the maybe the meetings ahead of time, even if it's just a few, will help them to begin to absorb and process. What I did with my daughter and Joey, or some of our friends, we had them read Retire Young, Retire Rich. I did it for my daughter because she was missing school. I wanted to give her a little preface and start getting some of that mindset of understanding of some of it. So she read that book, which is not a small book. She read that book ahead of time, and I think it primed her and prepared her for some of the material so that she could have more ability to absorb it.
Yep. I think Lynn's agreeing. Yeah, Yasik is saying you still have a home phone. Yeah, my parents are old, man. Some people still have. I don't know why they have a cell phone. I don't know why they don't use that more.
Yeah.
Actually, Brandon probably has a home phone.
No, I don't. No, I don't. But I will
uh,
say I have a young, I'd call her, she's a millennial. She was making fun of me yesterday with writing checks and having a checkbook. So
I always tell that story, because in the firehouse we finally got debit cards. For the longest time, we used to have to pay for the food and meals with checks, and a lot of we finally got debit cards because a lot of places weren't taking checks anymore. But anyways, we still have the checkbook because so one of the young firefighters, when he first got to our station, it was his turn to go grocery shopping and whatever, and we gave him the checkbook, and he just was this blank look on his face, like how do I, like, what do I do
how do
here?
I even write a check?
Yeah, I mean, but like you said, I mean, people don't write checks too often anymore. But it was just funny that he just had no idea what this was. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see. What did I talk to? What else did Zuber mention on his call? He did live stream with that. He wants to do more live streams, I think, on Sundays with the community. I do
Yep,
think getting Frank's Zoom group on the stage will be great just because they're like the OGs. They're kind of that the one that was started before school even started. So that would be very cool. And I definitely think the getting the ladies of ORaaT up there would be kind of interesting because we don't really see,
absolutely,
yeah, we don't see what's
absolutely.
going on. It's kind of a special group, and none of us get to see what's there. Flavio tried to sneak in one time, but the rest of us, we don't know what's going on there. But I think it would be cool for the community to see what they kind of talk about, or who's even a part of it, right? Because I don't really even know, besides maybe a few names, like who actually shows up for that. Uh, there's got to be YouTube video. Yeah, there's got to be YouTube videos on how to write a check. Looks like that could be a moneymaker, maybe. Looks like you have a
Could be.
runny nose too, also, man. I got some allergies and stuff going on since I
Yeah,
got back.
that's this season. It's that's what I fight.
So let's see. Anything else you want to talk about the event? I mean, I thought it went pretty well.
I
But
think it
definitely,
went well. Yeah,
yeah.
and it was really good to share and meet, see everybody again. And you're right, we're getting very comfortable with each other. And I think these accountability groups, all these live streams, we're building some relationships where we can have some fun. But also, some of these people can be more isolated than others, and they feel like they can build that community, even though it's through online. You have a group that you could trust to share what's going on.